The Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame recognizes Ohio's distinguished men and women who have worn the uniform of our nation's armed forces and then continue to contribute to their communities, state, and nation through exceptional acts of volunteerism, advocacy, professional distinction, public service, and philanthropy. The Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame. Nominate a veteran today.
Brad Wenstrup, Operation Iraqi Freedom, United States Army Reserve. You know, I think growing up here, what I came away with is I felt like Cincinnati was the center of the universe. Went to the University of Cincinnati for undergrad, majored in psychology and in pre-med. And when I went to medical school in Chicago and did my residency there, that's what my roommates would say. I know, Cincinnati, center of the universe. But it was a great place to grow up. You know, I grew up early on watching the Vietnam War, and as much bad publicity as that war got, I still had so much respect for those that went and fought. And then during the Ronald Reagan era, he brought so much deserved glory to our military and those that had served. And I always thought, you know, I wonder who these guys are. I could do that. And during the Gulf War, there were a couple local doctors who got called up. And I wasn't getting any younger. And I just thought, you know, especially as a doctor, I would love to serve our country and serve in the military. And one day I just called 1-800-USA Army and joined the reserve. A few years after I was in and making my way through the ranks, if you will, I got called up, and at that point I was a major. I was at Abu Ghraib prison for a year, and this was after the scandal. So you know we're walking on eggshells. We were assigned with detainee health care, which meant we took care of the enemy. And so although Saddam Hussein was kept somewhere else, we were responsible for his care. It's pretty interesting to have this mission. It's probably the most biblical mission you might be able to think of, to take care of those that want to kill you. But we were doing that, and we won over hearts and minds, and that was the core of the mission. I was really proud of the work that we did, and our unit got a meritorious unit citation, and I stayed in. And I ended up staying in for 25 years with even better things to come after that by being able to work at Walter Reed and be a medical policy advisor for the Chief of the Army Reserve. When I came back from Iraq, and especially being at Abu Ghraib prison, which was so high profile, I came back to Cincinnati, and we don't have a base or a post here. So basically, for a lot of people, because now I'm home, I became sort of the face of the war to a lot of people, and I started getting asked to speak. And I would go to surgery, throw on my uniform, go to Rotary or Kiwanis or something like that, and then I started getting asked to do Veterans Day events and Memorial Day, etc. And people started saying after I'd speak, you ought to run for office, if you thought about running for office. And to be able to not only represent the people from my hometown, but to be able to be in Congress and still serve in the reserve and get assigned to Walter Reed, and then as a medical policy advisor for the Chief of the Army Reserve, I still have to pinch myself sometimes and say, how did all this happen, especially as someone who never planned on necessarily being in the military and never planned on necessarily being in politics. My staff tells me at the end of my career that I passed 78 bills. I think the Mission Act is probably one of the biggest, where we were able to expand care for our veterans. But I guess one of the more momentous times, and there are a couple, as Congress, where my doctor skills played a part, is when there was a shooting at the baseball field when we were practicing for the charity baseball game that we play at National Stadium. The first shot rang out and missed Trent Kelly at third base. Trent Kelly's a 2-star in the National Guard. He immediately yelled, "Shooter," got a gun, and he started to run. Steve Scalise, who's in leadership, got hit, and he went down and tried to crawl away until he stopped. My mind just went into military mode. As I was in war, who's doing the shooting? How many? Don't get yourself killed, because you can't help anybody if you get killed. I had to move once because he was moving and started shooting down my lane. But I was able to get to Steve, and truthfully, closely. I got to him. I swept his body, see how many times he was hit. He was hit once, and I pulled down where he was shot to check for an exit wound, and he didn't have one. I did put a military tourniquet on, and they were able to get him to the hospital just in time. This is an experience where you start to go, wow, this is pretty special. You know, when you start hearing names like Neil Armstrong, Ulysses S. Grant, and others on down the list, and you think, wow, I hope I continue to live up to the honor that has been given.
Selection and induction into the Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame is a great honor. Nominate a veteran today